Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Whether you need of a website, domain, or online store, make your next move with Squarespace. So apparently today is the 3rd birthday of this channel. That's pretty crazy. Definitely feels a lot shorter than that, but I guess time flies when you're having fun. And this is a great opportunity to just say thank you for being here for the ride along the journey, and hopefully it lasts a bit longer. And to celebrate this momentous occasion, I have re-released the classic dog t-shirt, which is actually my favourite t-shirt in my wardrobe, which was a photo that was taken in the first ever episode. Kind of seemed apt to re-release it for 24 hours only, since it's the birthday of that video. So if you'd like a good piece of NF history, join the army, join the nation, and show some love and support. That was a really bad slogan in the end. I kind of feel like that tailed off. Anyway, yeah, thank you for being here. On with the video. So I feel pretty lucky to have over the years tried out pretty much every kind of camera, and now it seems like quite a rarity for me to try something which seems like so unfamiliar. And half-frame 35mm is something which I kind of disregarded, something which I've never really been that interested in just because the image quality seems pretty rubbish. But all this changed when I first saw the Yashica Samurai. As soon as I saw that weird design, I knew that I had to give it a try. So this is the Yashica Samurai X3.0. It's a half-frame SLR automatic point-and-shoot hybrid type thing. The 3 in the name actually means it has a 3x zoom lens, which goes from what feels like a semi-wide normal 35-esque point-and-shoot lens to a fairly zoomed-in compressed look. So the first major point to me about this camera, of what makes it so special, is the build, the design, the form factor of this strange thing. I mean, just look at it. It's like a classic 80s or 90s handycam camcorder. It really doesn't resemble a stills camera. One of the interesting design choices of the camera is to have the film loaded vertically, which in turn dictates the more unconventional form factor of the camera. And I actually, without knowing, purchased a special edition of the camera. I got the Camera Grand Prix 88 edition, which is when it won Best Camera of the Year in Japan in 1988. So if that's not an accolade, I don't know what is. But basically this edition's whole special thing is it's got some gold hardware, which is mostly worn off by the time that I have become the owner. And this different handle, this normally is just flat, which I'm kind of half sold on. Feels pretty good in the hand. This feels pretty good. But when you put it in a bag, it just takes up way more space. So I kind of feel like I'd rather have the normal one, but gotta love the gold bling. So to me, this camera is kind of built towards a travel kind of situation. It's like the ultimate shorts and flip-flops holiday dad camera. So I decided to take it away with me. I was going away to Berlin for a few days, and this was my weapon of choice. I had no photos that I wanted to take, I had no shoots planned, just some holiday snapshots, walking around, taking some photos of whatever I saw. So when you're getting half-frame photos scanned, you can choose 2 different ways of having them presented, either single images or as diptychs. Since it takes up one normal 35mm frame, they can scan it as that, and it'll have this nice kind of border in between the two. So this is how I decided to have all my film scanned, and since I kind of had this knowledge already, I knew that I wanted to try and take photos that would complement each other. Think about actually making them as diptychs, not just being surprised on what lands next to each other. Whether this was thinking about the shapes, or what was in the photos, or a colour that was in the last photo, this was just like a fun thing to be mentally thinking about whilst taking some snapshots. So I think on the whole, I'm pretty impressed with this thing. I wasn't really expecting much at all from the quality, and I think it's definitely come out a lot better than I think. Now if you do zoom in, it goes away pretty quickly. There's not really any room to crop in these images. But when you look at them at their like just normal size, the lens has done a really good job. They look really sharp. The flash is also bright and works really well and gives that kind of classic point and shoot look, which is always a nice option to have. And I also love the look that the diptychs create. I think that it probably is a gimmick and something which I will grow to dislike. But for now, since it's new, I'm really enjoying it, and I like the idea of creating these 2 images at a time. And also, it just is a different way of presenting things, and yeah, it just feels fresh and new for me. However, the biggest downfall of this camera so far, it just takes forever to focus. It hunts a lot, it really struggles, and especially in bad light. Like, it kind of deals okay in the daytime, but if anything's moving fast, or if it's nighttime, you might as well give up. But I guess what do you expect from such an old camera? And speaking of moving things, this camera actually has a pretty crazy burst mode. It can shoot like 3 frames a second. So if you've ever wanted to capture some fast moving subjects, you can do it. I imagine this could actually have a pretty good implementation in like a fashion shoot, but during this roll, it's not something which I utilised. And since you've got so many shots on a roll, you don't really actually have to feel that bad about taking multiple photos, because the price is half as much. At the end of the day, I just think this camera's pretty fun. It might not give you the best image quality, it might not give you the swiftest autofocus, but it's more about just having like a good time. It's just like refreshing, unusual, and fun to use. And the results actually are pretty usable and fun. I think it makes a really great travel camera, really great just like photos of your friends and stuff like that. Stuff that like a point and shoot or a disposable were made to do, this camera does really great. And also, I think maybe because it has that kind of camcorder aesthetic, people might react to it differently. They might think you're filming, not taking photos, and that might get you some different kind of photos in the first place. So I really didn't know what to expect with this, but I think it's definitely going to live in my camera collection. I'm not planning on getting rid of it anytime soon, and I'm probably going to use it some more fairly frequently. And would I recommend buying it? Yeah, why not? If you're looking to save some money shooting film, maybe half frame's the way to go. Or if you like it the way that it's presented or the idea of the diptychs, there's plenty of fun to be had. It's also pretty affordable because not many people want to shoot half frame. So yeah, join the revolution, lose the resolution. If you're interested in picking up that dog t-shirt, check that out. Happy birthday. And thank you again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. If you're looking to build a website or buy a domain, maybe it's a blog, maybe it's a portfolio or a shop, all of this you can do on Squarespace, and it's all really simple to do. You don't need any prior experience of building websites, and you can get really great professional results. And what's best is you can also get 10% off using the code negative feedback. So, I mean, that's the end. Bye.